I'm just kidding, Serge.
But it was like that.
You look the last 5 seconds if this beast came running at you. Even tigers think twice before crossing its path.
It's week 4 of the 2024 season. And here's the big artist himself, Trayvon Diggs. He'll make you pay if you throw his way too often. It's the Cowboys and the Giants on Thursday night prime time.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Signed by partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Garden. And Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they're looking to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that
Go, guys.
is to be at home. And they're going to try to ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visitors, the Cowboys, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Cowboys making their way out.
Yeah, let's go, Prescott.
Leader in touchdown passes for 2023. In his 9th season now, Dak Prescott.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. It's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass. So he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And he'll get what he can up the middle. 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. It's still very early in the season, obviously, CD, but already key.
Yeah, that's not a free throw, man. Okay, my bad. I'm still on TV, man. That's all right. I touch you up. And number 1.
When you can grab this pebble from my hand, it will be time for you to leave. Sorry, not this time.
Oh, come on, Ancient Master. It's been almost 20 years. I gotta get out of here.
Hey, I have an idea. Why don't we just say I grabbed it?
We don't have to tell anybody. It's my little secret.
I cannot do that. Remember, as it is written, life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name, and it feels like home. Just like a prayer. In other words, you don't graduate until you grab this pebble.
All right. Wow. Look over there. It's Junior Roberts and Jason Patrick.
Where? Nice try.
Had to deal with.
And what's really difficult for a team is to try and maintain their focus when they feel like they've been a little bit snake-bitten. It feels like every time they turn around, another injury crops up. How do they manage to hang together, get guys to play a little bit above their heads, and make sure that they're still afloat when their starters make it down?
Yeah, 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. You talk about this Giant defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently second best in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. The Cowboys had 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they moved back above 500 with a victory last week.
and you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win, this might be something we see from them a lot this year, because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge.
Come on, Prescott. What was that?
First target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
Going on the ground with Homer. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Now Prescott. It's caught. Tolbert. And he will have a Cowboys first down. He needed 5. He got it.
Hey, good job, guys.
It will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Big article in the paper this morning talking about wanted to get chunky in the run game. Well, early on, there's a good one.
There isn't for guys on defense. They've got to remember the old adage. You've got to meet force with force, and if you don't, you get run over, as they did on that last play.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. They'll let this go for the end zone.
I'm going to see this offense try to spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
To throw is Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard.
Good job. Good job. Let's go, guys. Come on.
After the catch makes it good for a gain of 26.
Good throw.
And also a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Oh, boy.
Quite a first and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll run this with Homer. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
2nd and 7. Again, it's Homer. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Third and 4. They'll run for the first time with Amari DiMercado.
Take my 14 inches.
Just going to be short, barely. Half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. He's still in search of his first rushing touchdown of the year, but not on that.
I wonder if he has some frustration starting to build a little bit because he hasn't gotten into the end zone. Has to just stay calm, stay within himself. Just let it happen.
Oh, home out for the rest of the season. Oh, boy. Wow.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he is into the end zone.
No, Homer gone for the rest of the year. Wow.
Luke Schoonmaker, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
It becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Giants offense ready to go to work, and they'll do so behind Daniel Jones in his 6th season now out of Duke.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll run here with a rookie. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. You look at this Cowboy defense. They enter play 1 from the bottom, 31 in the league, Charles, against the run.
And that's been the Achilles heel for them all season long, being able to play against the run, being able to slow teams down. But it's not just that. When you give up big chunks of yardage in the running game, it also team you're playing as well. So typically, when you don't play the run well, you're getting hit in all phases.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Able to shake him off. And that will be incomplete.
Good defense, guys.
One of the things we always talk about heading into a game, who's going to set the tone early and very early on here? We're seeing a defense showing they're going to continue to break pressure.
Smelled that early 3 and out, brought the pressure, and the hit forced the incompletion. And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
Whoa.
It's a 39-yard
Why the guy got hit hard?
on the return, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. 2nd drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break. Let's say week 15 or 16, somewhere there.
You often say that sort of opens the playbook. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
2nd and a couple. Now Prescott. He's got it complete to Tolbert. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Tackled by Isaiah Simmons. Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's second down and 7. Prescott now from the 50. Fires a slant, complete to Toby. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll go as a pickup of 32.
Yeah, another guy hurt too.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defense.
I ain't no Lance. Gets okay to sold out for the game. Oh man, home out for the season. Hey guys are going down like flies. God damn.
One that they want to fix immediately.
So from the 17 now, here's a first. The give is to DeMarcano. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam the
On the handoff, it's DeMarcano. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
How do you catch him?
No gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Short completion, just 4 yards. And it'll be 4th down. Now turn things over to Brandon Aubrey now for the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is right there. It's good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he can.
We lost 2 people in one game in the first quarter. This don't make no sense. Wow.
Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your
Big hit.
players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Now Jones. That's to the rookie. It's Malik Neighbors. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing Jones. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you come in off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're looking sharp out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. This to Arnold on the short pass. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter play.
In the first quarter, guys.
Score after one on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. On the ground, it's Steve O'Connor. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Prescott. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And I don't think he got there, no.
Take my 4th and inches. Y'all some cheating bitches. He was over the first down mark.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. On the ground with a tight end. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. And New York set to take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the point. Yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Mike McCarthy pretty decisive. He brings out that red challenge flag. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After review the play, ruling on the field stands.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining. Tracy going to get it on 1st down. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Looking to throw. Jones. Eluding the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Osa Odigizua with the effort there to earn the sack.
Got into some old Michael Jackson.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Off the play fake. Jones forced out to his left. And he will take it all in.
Well, y'all didn't switch players.
Daniel Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants have cut it back within a score.
Hey, you're down on the scoreboard. But
You shouldn't have looking at him.
Close, and this is where, as a quarterback, you say, I've got to make a play here. Doesn't matter whether it's a pinpoint throw or a scramble like this one. He takes matters into his own hands and delivers a touchdown.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7.
They should have punted that ball. They should have been on 4th and inches. Little fucking bitches.
Nice play on the end of it. An 18-yard touchdown run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Prescott to throw it. And this one is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, Coleman. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
He did a fine job there not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Prescott yet again. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. Running, DiMercado. And the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7.
You didn't run the play, man.
A loss of 1.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he will have a Cowboys 1st down.
Oh, he hurt now, too.
3rd down conversion.
God damn it. They're all going out.
A member of the Cowboys shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's DiMercato, and he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 9. Prescott now. They'll set up the screen to DiMercato. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
A run, it's DiMercato. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short, definitely was a great time to dial one up.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
2nd and 10. Prescott. He's going to let this go. Back in the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Throwing, Prescott. At the 38. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
Partner, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it.
Yeah, you just cannot take a sack in that spot.
You're exactly right. You can't take a sack in that spot. Potentially now a 3-point swing right there.
And the Cowboys going to bring on Brian Anger to punt on 4th down. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. And New York set to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Tracy. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Jones from the gun on 3rd
Picked off. Good job.
On the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
Go.
And Charles, that's now 4 interceptions.
Good job.
Last 3 halves of football, because remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified.
Way to stay right there and don't move.
Doing maybe a movement. Maybe
Give me that.
Moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on, and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight. Planted their feet and forced the incompletion on first down.
Now a 2nd and 10. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to get this pretty close to the first down marker at the Giants' 17. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And he will have a Cowboys first down. At least it would appear.
Good job, guys.
He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do.
Take it to the 2. Take it to the 2. Coach Gill saying.
Set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Two minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's Ferguson. Will go down as a gain of 6. And that will bring up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Dave's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. Now they go screen. It's complete. And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And sometimes when you run a screen pass down in the red zone, it's really tough to create a lot of room to operate. The field's pretty condensed. But that was really well designed there, and they're able to pick up the 1st down.
Now back to throw. This is caught. Stopped short. Down at the 1. Had the broken tackle, but couldn't get it all the way home. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop and get a good head of steam going.
Oh, come on. How you going to push that guy back into me that far?
Before he could get out of the backfield. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can. But this is 3rd and goal. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
From a defensive perspective,
Get all the way down to the 1 yard line and you get kicked back that far. Wow.
Pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And this one is right through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that is incomplete. So
hey, good half, guys.
And what's a 6-point game at the break. As we're you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much.
The girl's mine.
Charles in a minute, but first,
Oh,
give the folks
mine.
at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. Plenty of good games to choose from in that early window. We'll highlight the one down in Tampa. A big test for the Bucs at home as they get set to host the Philadelphia Eagles. More good stuff later in the afternoon. One being down in the desert.
Oh, Minnesota got a bye. They got a bye early. They don't play nobody. Oh, they playing Thursday night with me. Oh, no, they play Green Bay.
And the Baltimore Ravens. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward. Both teams making their final adjustments for the second half to come. And to bring the action your way, we go back to MetLife Stadium and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. Well, now how about this return? And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way.
Come on, guys.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
I think what we just saw their partner was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
And they'll try and run the option to pick
Nope,
it up.
we right there, guy. We saw you.
He's not going to have the first down as they stop him short.
We saw you.
No gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is taken at about the 14. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And they will take over.
All right. Come on, Prescott.
Now they head out for their first possession of the second half. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From the 25, here's a 2nd and 9. That's into a crowd.
Pass interference.
Get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Can't do that.
So a big chunk of yardage will be marked up there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense. Pass interference, gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
2nd and 6.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. He'll let this go deep for Collins. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot.
The ball right in your hand.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York ready to go again offensively. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now,
Why he held on to that ball? Wow.
Is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down, Jones. And he nearly got the 1st himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker, and it's 4th.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now they force him to make a decision with this 4th down call.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded just inside the 30. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Bobby Okereke making that tackle.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Pass on the attempt, but he still brings it in. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
That's interference. Defense.
So the PI decline, and that'll give him a fresh set of downs.
And when you scout tight ends, one thing you want to know, just how strong they are. And we saw it in evidence there. He was able to fight through all the contact and still secure the football.
Off the play fake, Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott got him in. It's Tyquan Thornton. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 30. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Prescott off play action. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ferguson. They'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 40 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down.
Come on, guys. We got to do some better running in this.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a
running back. Oh my God, hurry up for the season. That's all right.
Because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
That fucking bullshit.
Second down and 8. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing a holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Prescott from the gun. He'll get this to DiRiccano. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Prescott. It's a bad throw.
I think that's a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And his kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a nice return, but he's going to pay for it as they knock him down hard at the end. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. They'll hand it to Tracy. And it's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. They get 6. That'll leave them with... get some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Working the middle of the field, he's got man.
That's a bunch of bullshit right there.
Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
On the give, it's Tracy. Oh, nice move. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Right back to Tracy. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors.
Oh, come on, guys. What was that?
Giant touchdown. Malik Neighbors, 32 yards. And the Giants have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there. And they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Gano the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. High school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
2nd and 5. Now Prescott. Flush to his right. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
It's getting cold in here, partner, because it looks like he's trying to ice this one away. Yeah, I know, bad dad joke, but what the heck, right? Scrambling for that first after the deep blanket his receivers, that's a backbreaker for the defense. They finished this drive off with 6, and this one could be over.
And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Prescott now from the 50. And it falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and they'll force the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Finding Tolbert here over the middle. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 40. To throw is Prescott. Right back to Tolbert. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down. Stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There it is. And they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed as they move the sticks again. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Here's Prescott. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
This defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And again, it's Prescott. And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
And his kick here is good. And it will push the lead up to 5. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. And the Giants ready to come out now. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory.
Micah Parsons, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Running left is Tracy. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. The offense on third down tonight, they've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Jones. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Parsons.
Good job.
And the Cowboys will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Another important fourth-quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
And this is the worry because sometimes you get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Here's Prescott. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up the 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Complete. It's Johnson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. On the ground, here comes Tracy. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
No, what's that, guys?
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Jones. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front. They're prepared for him to try and take off.
Now Jones. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete.
Oh, come on, guys.
To the 30-yard line here
How you let him get the first down? He's right there.
Go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. To throw is Jones. That's complete. It's Neighbors. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. That's caught by Johnson. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts.
Here we go with this bullshit.
Over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Now 1st and goal. Jones. Escaping the pressure right.
Oh, come on. He did that twice. This is some bullshit. Tackle the guy. What you jumping for? Oh, come on. That is some bullshit there.
To take the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
And partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Here's Jones to throw, and he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
It's some total bullshit.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Oh, good return up past the 30. So Dak and the Cowboys down by a field goal. A little over 40 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on 1st down. Now Dak. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's 2nd down and 3. To throw, Prescott. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his health. Got to totally command and make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Now Prescott. And he will not be able to hang on through the
Give him a 4th and 4.
It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now as to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. Pass taken in by his big tight end. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. At that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there. and it winds up incomplete.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Here's Dak. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. 4th down now defensively. Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
Too far for a field goal. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Here's Prescott. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Giants are close to finishing off this football game.
Some cheating ass bullshit.
And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but bottom line, they got the job done.
Yeah, it is the bottom line, isn't it? A few anxious moments along the way, though. A few sweaty palms, not just for the team, but for their fans. As you mentioned, down going into the 4th quarter. How about the rally? How about the comeback? Getting it done on both sides of the ball, holding them when they needed to, and